Israel has announced it will go to the negotiating table for hostages for ceasefire deal, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordering a delegation to be dispatched for the talks due on Thursday. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant welcomed the decision, acknowledging that there's a limited window of opportunity for the release of hostages. He said, and I quote, "Even if there are disagreements, the entire security system backs you up in the task of reaching an agreement," unquote. The decision was made after Netanyahu's in-depth talks with his negotiating team and senior security officials moments ahead of his flight to Washington. The Ben Gurion airport saw demonstrations against Netanyahu's 6-day visit. The demonstrators urged him not to travel unless a deal is signed with Hamas to facilitate the return of the hostages. As per a survey conducted by Medgam Research, 70% of Israelis think Netanyahu is not doing enough to get the hostages released. While in the United States, Netanyahu will meet President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris before he addresses the joint session of the U.S. Congress on July 24th. Activists opposing Israel's war in Gaza and U.S.'s support for its Middle Eastern ally plan protests at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday, expecting a large number of demonstrators. Police are making additional security arrangements. For months now, Washington has seen protests from pro-Palestinian groups and college students over U.S. support for Israel amid the war in Gaza. A coalition of groups is expected to participate in the protests. Women-led Peace and Human Rights Group Code Pink, Palestinian American Community Center and Jewish Voice for Peace are few of the groups participating. Israeli strikes in Gaza in the past 24 hours killed at least 64 and wounded more than 100 others. According to a Hamas-run Gaza government media office, situation also remains tensed along the Lebanon-Israel border. 3 Hezbollah members have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on several areas in southern Lebanon. Moreover, Israel carried out airstrikes on the Houthi-controlled Red Sea port of Hodeidah in Yemen. This was in retaliation to the drone attack carried out by the group in Tel Aviv a day earlier. Gallant called it a message to the Houthi movement. He said, and I quote, "The fire that is currently burning in Hodeidah is seen across the Middle East and the significance is clear," unquote. Iran has criticized Israel's attacks on Yemen, warning that such aggression risks exacerbating the already dire situation in the region. And for more on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen sends us this report from Ranana.
Following protests at the airport calling for a hostage truce deal, Prime Minister Netanyahu has left for the US. Netanyahu is expected to meet with President Biden to thank him for his support over the years and during the Israel-Hamas war. Netanyahu is also scheduled to meet with Vice President Kamala Harris, who could receive the Democrats' nomination for president. Harris's views on Israel are similar to the president's, although she is considered further to the left of Biden, having taken a tougher tone on Israel over the past few months. Netanyahu is also reportedly seeking a meeting with former President Donald Trump, although this meeting is yet to be confirmed. Now, before taking off, Netanyahu suggested that at a time when Israel is fighting on 7 fronts and of political uncertainty in the US, the purpose of his visit would be to anchor bipartisan support for Israel, no matter who America picks as its next president. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.